Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the daily forecast for Tuesday, March 19th, 2024. Good morning, happy Tears Day, and blessed Astara. The spring equinox is finally upon us. Now, our astrology for the day today, we begin in Pisces, the mutable water sign representing compassion. And then we are going to enter Aries, a cardinal fire sign representing courage at 10:06 p.m. Central Time. There cannot possibly be a bigger contrast between being in Piscean energy and then going into the more aggressive Aries. So it's going to be a very interesting shift, and I'll get into that a little bit more further down. The moon is in the second quarter of Cancer, a cardinal water sign representing sensitivity. Then it's going to go void of course at 1:52 p.m. Central Time, and then afterwards it will enter Leo, a fixed fire sign representing enthusiasm, at 2:33 p.m. Central Time. So again, we're moving from the watery, more emotional, go with the flow kind of energy to the more vibrant and I am here and I'm being proactive and I am doing things kind of energy. So we are having a complete 180 degrees, which is suiting the Mercury sign just fine. It is an Aries, a cardinal fire sign representing alertness. So that's all doing some good teamwork together today. Venus, however, remains in Pisces, mutable water sign representing compassion. So we're not completely going overboard with fire today. Mars is in Aquarius, a fixed air sign representing state energy. Jupiter is in Taurus, a fixed earth sign representing practicality. Saturn is in Pisces, a mutable water sign representing nostalgia. Uranus is in Taurus, fixed earth sign representing renovation. Neptune is in Pisces, a mutable water sign representing the imagination. And Pluto is in Aquarius, a fixed air sign representing reformation. Now, the wonderful thing about the sun and the moon and Mercury all going into fiery signs is that the energy that we have from Pluto to reform, to change, to move on to the next chapter, all of that fiery energy can feed into Pluto's influence right now. So make the most of it for sure. Now, the moon phase, again, waxing gibbous. Focus on cultivating your intentions, work towards manifestation, do, go, go, go. The moon, of course, will begin in Cancer, so do build up your home life still, do nurture those relationships, do express your emotions in a healthy way. Don't linger in public settings, don't eat your feelings, don't get lost in nostalgia and regret. And as it is going into Leo, think about being out there, being very outgoing, becoming more social, being willing to take the lead if that's what's necessary to do. And as far as any don'ts with the Leo moon, once it arrives for us, don't get too puffed up with pride. Don't antagonize people needlessly. And just things of that sort. Just be aware about how by the time we get to the afternoon, you're going to be in a slightly different moon situation. So just conduct yourself accordingly. Now, it is the day of Mars, and Mars is a planet of war and conflict, but it's also a planet that governs leadership, the law, statesmanship. So it isn't just a blind, unbridled aggression. There is control there. There is strategy there. And Mars in Aquarius, I think that is the ideal placement if we're wanting to cultivate diplomacy and strength in equal measure. So have defensible boundaries and the resolve to maintain them, and that will set the stage for greater success in life. Now, today's tarot is Six of Cups. The number 6 in this deck represents the second stage of completion. The suit of cups is the water element, receptive energy, and emotion. And the key words for this card and simple pleasures. And I think this is very pleasant to have an Ostara today because Ostara isn't a theatrical Sabbat. It is more so about the appreciation for the rebalancing of the energies, the renewal of spring, all of its promise. When it comes to nostalgia, remembering the springs that have come before, having the traditions that we've built up around a star, the painting of the eggs and different kinds of planting and cleansing ceremonies, and very simple things. I mean, even the feast itself, it just feels like it's more low key, a lot more homemade, and just a lot more comfortable. We are energized, and we are putting our best foot forward, but there's nothing stiff about it, nothing at all. So I think the Six of Cups energy goes along with that very, very well. Now, our triad for today reads three things hateful to the mighty ones and to humankind: a weak look, a deceitful tongue, and a mischievous spirit. So a weak look, read that as someone who has a very wishy-washy character. They're unreliable, you can't count on them. Their opinions will shift and float depending upon who they're around. This isn't someone who takes on influence and listens to reasonable arguments. This is someone who is not exercising their own will, and so they can be twisted and manipulated however someone wants them. So being that, of course, obviously that would be beneath our dignity. At least it should be. A deceitful tongue, exactly what it sounds like: lying liars who lie. And it's interesting that this is being brought up as something that is hateful to the mighty ones, because remember, in the Celtic triads, the gods are often referred to as the mighty ones, as a collective group. So for this to be something that is hateful to them, I think that is a good reminder that we don't want being deceitful to be just our general mode of life. It's one thing to not exactly be open and honest with people who are antagonistic towards us, people who mean us ill and harm, but how we treat our enemies should not be the way we treat our friends, our family, or even our acquaintances. As long as there is mutual goodwill, we shouldn't be going around telling lies. And then the mischievous spirit. I want to make it clear that in this context, it's not about playfulness or sense of adventure. But in this case, mischief is about maliciousness, even criminality. And of course, that just isn't something that we need to be doing. Having that approach to life is what creates problems. It doesn't solve them. And obviously, if it's being mentioned in the triads, and this has been handed down to us over many, many generations, that is as good an indication as we will ever get that that's not something that the gods approve of. So, something to contemplate. Now, our magical correspondences today are focused around battle and war, which isn't the most star-spirited thing, but when your color of the day is scarlet, you work with what you've got. The plant with this intention is the ash tree, the animal is the eagle, and the stone is the bloodstone. Now, the thing about conflict is that we all have to learn how to handle it. We may not like it, we may not choose it, but sometimes conflict just chooses us. And if we are constantly caught off guard and we're not prepared and we never stand our ground, and we just do not know what to do when conflict is brought to our doorstep, well, it's going to have an extremely detrimental effect upon our lives and upon our spirituality. There just isn't any call for it. You can love peace, but still know what you would need to do if someone brought a war to your doorstep. And that's just something to bear in mind. So, for pagan practice, of course, celebrating a star, performing the ritual, doing all of the things, have an egg hunt, do something in the garden today if the weather allows for it. But also cultivate that warrior spirit. When I talk about the warrior spirit, it isn't just a matter of being in a position where you're trying to prepare your mind and your body to be ready for some sort of battle. When I'm talking about warrior spirit, I'm talking about someone who's approaching life as they are going to seize it. They are going to make choices. They are going to be strategic. They are not going to just let things happen to them. They are going to be the ones who are playing a role in shaping and forging how things turn out. That kind of warrior spirit. And then, of course, get going on that to-do list. Spring is a time of action. Spring into action. Do all of the things. That's what we need to be up to. And of course, for our journal prompt, last thing of the day is the question is, are you feeling energized for spring? Or do you need a little help to kick into high gear? And if so, what do you need? And then, of course, once you have figured that out, if you're in that situation, go after that. Fulfill that need. Make sure that you are fueling up your own tank so that you can have a very successful spring season. And of course, we have the strength and the energy to get through the rest of the year and the completion of this particular cycle. And that is what I have for you, everyone, today. Again, I wish you a very blessed Astara. I hope you have a wonderful day and you have thoroughly enjoyable rituals, and of course, yummy foods to feast on. But that will be it for today. So leave your comments for me in the comments section or email me at brigantiablackbird@protonmail.com. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.